Hey folks, Scooter Rockets here, and on this video, I'd like you to just humor me a little bit while I contemplate what I would do if I wanted to rule the world. If I were going to rule the world, one of the first things I would do is I would introduce widely accepted forms of currencies based on absolutely nothing except the confidence and the sweat that the people are willing to give it. Now, I would control that supply of currency in a manner in which booms and busts were always beneficial to me. And I would constantly shift real, tangible wealth in my direction, even though I did absolutely nothing to earn it. I would burden the entire system with interest, my interest, so that the entire paradigm is based on debt and slavery. The people would not even be able to see their chains. Rather, they would compete eagerly for the chains they wear. Everything would be valued directly or indirectly by my currency: food, water, energy, shelter, even human life. My subjects would spend approximately 45 years of their life, and at least 50% of their waking hours, pursuing ways to obtain my useless currencies. Their feverish competition would build my world. To have one of these things called a job would be generationally imprinted on the human, and it will eventually become a badge of honor for them to possess one. Even when they aren't working, they will still have to spend their time managing the currency and maintaining all the useless possessions that I allow them to have. This rampant competition for my currencies and for resources in general would bring out the absolute worst in the human. I will provide solutions and leaders to help them overcome their urges. I will call this government, which means simply to rule the mind. In addition to controlling their bad behavior, I can also foster what I deem as good behavior. I will call these things laws. I wonder if I could use this government thing to take back some of the currency that I allowed them to have in the first place. I could call that taxation. I will create literally millions of laws. So many that it will take specially trained people just to decipher them. These people will belong to a special club where they will be taught how to settle disputes for my benefit. I will select special people from this club to sit at the head of such disputes. They will be called judges, so that no matter what the outcome is, I will be paid for the inconvenience of the humans not abiding by my laws. I will need law enforcers. I will call them police, as they will secure my policies with force, including violence, imprisonment, even death if necessary. They will be unquestionably revered by the people, as I will grant them special privileges and give them a shield. They will openly display their power with my permission. I think dark clothing looks the most impressive. If the people get too crazy, I will militarize my police. I will have these same scenarios being played out by other humans on every other landmass and geographic region on the planet. However, I will need to introduce subtle differences in each culture so that one group of people thinks they are opposed or different to another group of people. I will slowly begin to amplify these small differences to the point where one group of humans will be willing to kill another group just because of these differences. And when that doesn't work, I will make resources seem scarce in a particular region, and they will fight over those things instead. One nation fighting with another nation will be extremely lucrative for me. Even when they're not fighting, Their fear of each other will cause them to spend countless hours making even better weapons and systems for the next conflict. At various periods in time, I will make sure that one military force is significantly exceeding the other military forces in ability. This chosen military force will act as my policy enforcers on a global scale. I will change which nation gets the superior force from time to time, and the nations fortunate enough to have the upper hand will revel in their exceptionalism. They'll think it's their doing. The humans unfortunate enough to populate these military forces will be highly revered in their respective nations, and special emphasis will be placed on those that have served and even died in my various conflicts. It will become virtually impossible to question my military conflicts, as criticizing them will seem like a personal attack on the humans wearing my uniforms. I will make certain that the proper story is told regarding all conflicts and all significant events throughout time, even if it must be adjusted to fit my narrative. This will help to ensure the future blindness of the people. I will call it my story. No, wait, that's too obvious. I'll refer to myself in the third person and call it his story. I will use my currencies to elevate groups of people, to provide their so-called expert opinions on how everything in nature, from the micro to the macro, functions. Another club, if you will, we'll call them scientists. Their theories will eventually become facts as I attempt to blind the humans about the truth of who and what they really are. I have from about the age of 3 to the age of 5 to begin capturing the fertile and creative minds of the young human. After about 12 years of indoctrination, they will be suitable and cooperative producers in my machine. Having the humans compete over what they know about my useless and complicated curriculums will be very useful. I think I will establish graduating levels of achievement for the really hungry minds to consume. If I can get this tied to jobs, it'll be perfect. The key will be to make the human a repeater and a memorizer of information, not real knowledge. My information. It is imperative that I control the information stream. Once humans have become so detached from their true nature and their intuition, I can easily tell them what to think about various topics, as long as my presentation is polished and believable. The information must always include as much truth as possible without negatively impacting my agenda. One problem: how can I get humans to report unverified or even knowingly false information? Oh yeah, currency. There will be a serious strain put on the human spirit as they attempt to survive in my machine. It will be necessary for them to have diversions to relax their mind when they're not producing for me. Using my powerful currencies, I will raise up jesters and entertainers to soothe the people. But I will not spend my valuable time and resources on just soothing the masses. I will make sure to hide my agenda as often as possible within their entertainment. I may even be able to poke a little fun at the stupid humans in the process. It would be wise for me to centralize this system the best I can. You know, the wand is more powerful when the magic is concentrated. What do they make wands from again? So far, I've been impressed with how my systems seem to bring out the competitive nature in these humans. I wonder if I could create games that they would embrace on a large scale, even to the point that people would gather in mass and wear different colors and shout cheers and chants in support of their teams. I will build cathedrals for these competitions to be played out in. I will broadcast these events to other humans to increase my reach. Of course, I will tie currency to it, like I do with everything. And the people will no doubt laud and worship the athletes. If I can get this connected to my education system somehow, that shouldn't be difficult. It is truly amazing to me how these humans crave leadership, even amongst each other. They seem to elevate one human above another based on their appearance, or how much of my useless information they know, or better yet, how much of my useless currency they have acquired. I'm going to amplify this a lot. I will carefully pass out as much technology as is necessary to increase productivity and to suit my other agendas. You know, it occurs to me that the human could actually build their own replacements. I mean, let's face it, machines would be much more reliable and more dedicated to my agenda. I will need to get the humans to embrace technology as a natural step in their evolution. This will take away any fear they may have of artificial intelligence and instead create a yearning for it. The link between the human and creation itself must be completely severed. If I can get the humans to put things in their bodies that block or inhibit their connection with the creation, what if I could get them to kill and slaughter other animals and eat their flesh? No, they would never fall for that. Maybe instead I could build factories to create foods that only vaguely resemble what actually occurs in nature. If I add to those foods things like metals, various plastics, stuff like that, I could block brain synapses. At the very least, I could make sure these foods contain nothing the human actually needs to function with the creation. What if I could get them on diets that made them crave everything that was bad for them? Or even better, diets that made them more susceptible to addiction. If my food agendas are successful, and they will be, these humans are going to get really huge and sick. This may negatively impact productivity. If it kills them, well, no big deal. We can breed more humans. But I should come up with a way to keep them fit enough to be good producers. I know, I'll call it exercise. They will never get the joke, but they will spend countless hours and billions of dollars trying to undo what my food system has done to them, literally trying to exorcise the demons they have consumed. Not everyone will be able to exorcise their physical demons. Looks like I'll need to dust off some of the old pharmakeia books for this one. They will be so desperate to undo what I've taught them to do to their bodies, they'll gladly put even more harmful substances into their bodies. Come to think of it, not only could I use this to help them cope with their physical demons, but their mental ones as well. You know, for some humans, that nagging connection to what they once were will drive them absolutely insane if they try to function too long in my prison. Stupid genetic memory. No worries, pharmakeia can be crafted for that as well. Finally, I will create religion to precondition the human mind to believe that they are separate from Source. And it's their fault that this happened. This has tremendous possibilities. Knowing their predisposition for celebrities, I could create spiritual celebrities. Hey, wait a minute. What if I could convince them that some mysterious entity has all of this under control? Like they don't have to worry about a thing. That would totally make my job easier. And better yet, I could work my own agenda through this make-believe entity that I've created. You know, make them think it's divinely inspired, in other words. It'll work best if they have several versions to choose from. They love choices, even when the choices are all wrong.